Mm.
Wow, man. So we had some. We finally got our first little taste of cold weather. I had this hat on because I did not comb my hair, but
Mm.
we had our first taste of this winter, this Louisiana winter. Seems like this happens literally like clockwork right after Halloween. Because here in the South we don't get cold.
Yeah.
But we not until January, middle of January, end of January, February, we started to get cold. But
Do you get snow? Do you get snow at the
oh no,
mountains? Yeah. No, not
no
even
mountains
snow.
here. Yeah, we're more
Mm.
tropical here in South Louisiana.
Mm.
So so we all for some even through Chris last year during Christmas, I think people were wearing shorts. It was
Well, that's what we'd love to see here in Victoria, if we can, hopefully, come January, because
yeah,
we've just been getting this long ass freaking winter, and
yeah.
it's not doing very good for people's moods. Everyone's getting uppity and pissed off about it. Yeah,
I can
yeah.
imagine, man. I can imagine.
Mm.
I can truly imagine. See if you can put yourself higher in your camera because we like we like
Is that better?
see if we can like our heights can match a little bit more because you were way down.
Mm. Hang
You,
on.
see- you,
I
you
have
see
to
what I'm
move my
saying?
chair forward. Yeah, move the chair forward a bit. How's
Okay,
that?
that's good. That's so much better. Let me see if I can move myself
Mm.
down. So, there we go. That's better. But yeah, man. So I want to first say that I still don't understand why you can't look at the videos. So I got all that together pretty much. I couldn't understand for a minute, but now I got that together. You'll be able to find them. I don't know why I wouldn't do that. I have no idea. I have no idea. So everything should be fine after today, and
We've been having a
I've
bit of
made us.
technical difficulties, I think, lately in Australia. Yeah,
Mm,
especially with me. My phone's been playing a bit silly buggers. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Cool. So talk to me about the show, man. Tell me how the show. Tell me. I saw the pics and everything, but talk to me about the show,
Yeah.
man.
Hi, Jazza.
Do you know who that
Is
is?
that- No, but they're saying hi, so we're saying hi
And
back.
so we're gonna say hi to him. Yeah. So tell me about the show, man. From the pictures, it looks haunting.
Yeah, man, it's not Miffy, and oh, get lost 67. But it's yeah, it's something else, and we did a radio interview about it yesterday, and
Yeah.
it just it was really went really smooth and really quite hi Brian. um and yeah, I think because of what we're doing, you and I, and the guest spots that I've been doing with other people's podcasts lately,
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot more free flow, a lot more conversational, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't feel as weird as it used to be when doing radio show guest spots
Mm-hmm.
with others. And you're going,
Yeah.
oh God, I'm in front of a microphone, but in a
Yeah.
different way.
Yeah. I figured that
Mm.
us doing it this way before we like really launch it and just kept going live. I figured what it would do. Yes, you should give us $1,000. And
We
you
need
should
it.
double it. You should
We're
you should
struggling, starving artists. Yeah.
you should double it and still give it to us because we're two people, right? Because we're two people. So if you're doubling it and you're not giving it to me, you're doubling it and you're giving it to him, and we just gonna split it. 1,000 each. Starving artist over here. We making it we out here making it plain. But if you're watching, Sam and I are friends. We met when I was living in Australia. This was back in 2013, 12 or 13, if I'm not mistaken. Um, three, three. Let's do it.
Hmm?
He said 3, 2, 1. What does that mean? Give us. We're here. We're here. Give it to us. But we met when we were over there, and we've been just basically going live and catching up about our lives, and and our friendship, and talking about our spiritual selves and ourselves as singers and ourselves as artists. So it's just been kind of like a great thing. But our new man, what I was saying
Give
is,
me a second, man. Sorry, someone's knocking at the door.
Go ahead. What's going on, Brian? You still there?
What's up? From there, jumping out. You see we're up there? Yep.
So give us some likes, like it, tap it, give us some hearts, as many hearts as you can possibly muster up. Some really, really, really good. Or we waiting on Sam to come back. I hope y'all had a great weekend. Hello, JoJo. Is that pronounced JoJo? How are you doing, JoJo, or Gojo? Which one is it? How are you? Waiting for Sam to come back. He had an unexpected knock at the door, so we're sitting here, just kind of chilling and talking about ourselves and talking and catching up with each other from over the years. We have we're in the same program. Thank you very much. It's kind of hot. It's kind of. I'm in Louisiana. Sam is in Melbourne, Australia. So we kind of.
It's cold as anything.
What is the weather like there, man?
It's like 14 degrees with hail this morning. Yeah.
Okay. Give us some more likes and loves and all those good things. Some more flowers. Thank you. And
thank you, Addison. Yeah, thanks for the sub.
Today we are. It's the first time that we are like we're in like in cold weather land. So I went. So I'm struggling. Where do you live?
Where is it?
Where do you live, Addison? So, well, I'm gonna feel happy about
we'll fill the gap. But yeah, getting back to the show, man. Yeah, we reconvened tonight, and the radio interview yesterday was great. Maryville. There we
go. Okay, that's great. But yeah, I'm so glad to hear that, man. So what I was saying was I kind of figured that that we would get a groove, like if we went live anyway, before we actually just said, hey, everybody, before we launched things, and we actually just kind of went live by ourselves first without saying anything. What we would do is we get into a groove to where all this shit would start to be a little easier.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And tonight will be the fourth performance. Okay. So that will be interesting. So we've already made changes already to the performance already. We're in the first two performances. I was behind the curtain, very Phantom of the Opera-esque. And then, of course, after opening night, the audience was like going, "Oh, we want to see more of the opera singer." And so, because I'm in a costume like a ghost already with a black shawl, like the woman in black sort of thing. It's for reference. It's quite haunting, and even the stage manager stated that because they've got smoke machines happening behind me as well. Audience members have said, "You look like something out of Silent Hill," and the stage manager even said, looking across the stage at me, my white mask looked like it was a floating head at one point as well. So that was even more freaky. And as you saw in the pictures with the white mask, that was even just in preview performances. So
those pictures, man, were haunting, man. They were really, really haunting. So what's been going on for this? Man, that's pretty. So how has the reviews been? Because I know y'all, the shows in Melbourne really get reviewed pretty doggone good.
Yeah, well, there was a few of them. The first two were just ridiculous because they didn't understand the show, and one of them was just a pretentious English 20 something girl who thought she was the best reviewer since sliced bread, and even stated that in her review of this English major did not understand it at all, but it would be understood by a few, but not by the many. And you go, God, how pretentious are you? We all don't need to know what you're studying, honey. We're here to read about the show, not your English major.
Well, I mean, I think there's always this thing when it comes to these kinds of shows that have kind of been put together in this kind of way that, well, the thing about Ari is that you either get it or not, and the people who don't get it, they're not supposed to get it.
Exactly. Plenty of fish in the sea, as I said to the director after reading the review.
Go talk to somebody else. Go see another show. Go see, another show. Go see Mary Poppins.
Go and see Wicked. Go and see this and that. Yeah,
exactly. Because this show is not
something
for you, right?
Something that's contemporary and makes sense to your feeble brain.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That's good stuff, man. So, how many more shows do y'all have?
Oh, so I think it's 8 now. Yeah, or it could be less.
That's a lot of shows, man. And they happen every other day.
Pardon me, just a second. Yeah. No. It's from tonight through to Saturday.
Okay, so just straight through. Oh wow.
Straight run, yeah. So you gotta treat it like it's a sort of music theater style stuff because it's basically nearly 8 shows a week. Yeah.
So you know how like opera companies have been doing a lot of musical theater shows. I like the way opera companies do musical theater shows in because they're in many respects treated like opera performances where you get those breaks in between, right? But what I hate about it is that because what happens with the shows that I have, musical theater shows that I have done, is that because they've been done with opera companies, they're being treated like operas in the respect of dialogue, especially dialogue being 100% off book at first rehearsal. And my mind is, I've done musical theater shows and I've never had to be off book, at first rehearsal, right? But these opera companies, they want it to be off book. And like, I was doing Carmen, man, and that man wanted us to have that French off book. As soon as we walked in the door, and I was like, hold up. Like, can I say it and walk it so I can get a feel of it? So, but we didn't get that opportunity, so I just kind of had to buckle down really, really hard with that. But I was telling somebody that I screwed up that dialogue every night. Screwed up that French. There was one point I was supposed to say I was in jail for Don Jose was in jail for 3 months. I missed the whole lineup.
Well, it's easy to do when it's not your native tongue, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly, man. So I kind of like pushed through it, but I made sure that singing was glorious, man.
Hang on.
So,
okay. Making sure that I've got the hydrated throat happening here.
Man, I'm telling you, man, you should have taken that break. Have taken that break, man. You gotta sing tonight.
Oh no, it's all good, man.
You sure?
Yeah.
So let's ask a question. What was the spiritual clarity that you got since we last talked last? Something. What happened? What did you learn? What was this week's big epiphany? Did you have one? Because I can talk for days.
Oh well, I learned that the moon that we both showed each other that night when you contacted me after the last live was called a Bieber moon, the Bieber super moon. Yeah, when that was something I didn't know. I knew it was a super moon because Spirit told me it was a super moon, but I didn't realize it was had a specific name until the news stated it on that the night after. And going, okay, well that's something interesting. Apparently, it was like we knew it was seen around the world at the same time, and as we both said, it was so glorious that we got to experience it together at the exact same moment. Yeah,
at the exact same moment, but also on 2 different days.
That was even more interesting. Yeah.
Well, you have to think about that as a portal, right? But it's a time portal. If we are both outside looking at the moon at the very same time, right? And that moon is there on your side, and we're talking about 16 hours ahead, and you're still seeing this same moon and it's still full. It's a portal. It's an energetic portal there. I don't know. Maybe you could have stuck your hand through it and shook my hand or something.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome. That would have been so dope. But yeah, I mean, I find and tomorrow is 11/11.
And it's already 11/11 where I am. Yeah.
So that portal is that 11/11. That moon, that portal is strong right now, man.
We're always catching up. I think that's why I'm wanting to catch up today, so that there's that connection between us. Yeah. Today with the 11/11. Yeah.
I ain't mad at it at all.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at all.
Especially when you can find that synchronicity together. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, so I learned a lot from last time. Like I told you, I have a friend who was staying over, and me and her was able to spend a lot of time talking. And I learned.
And what did she think of it all when you explained it to her?
Well, I mean,
did you explain it to her? Should I say first? Yeah.
Well, not necessarily explained it to her in that sense, but we just were talking just in general, and just about the things that I have been going through, and we both talking about how we're tired of certain things happening and certain things going, and how the things that we want for ourselves and stuff like that, and we started to talk. She started to have a conversation with me. I'm gonna be very transparent. And when she started to have the conversation with me, I got a little upset at first, right? And it was about how I was doing certain things. And then what happened was I had to see in that moment, right? I had to realize that she was talking to me in love in the moment. Thank you so very much. We appreciate it. But in the moment we had
what just happened just then? Sorry, dude. I didn't see
Brian Huntley said, "Sorry, I had to go. I'm gonna give you the 1K now." God bless. God bless.
God bless. Thank you.
Now what happened was I was hearing her words, right? Not realizing, all the things that I had done in the past in order to make things work in this way, that I had got to a place where I was jaded. Don't get me now. This is what's interesting about this. Now, here I am jaded, right? But still in bliss. My mind would not have thought that those two things could coexist, right? Because but they can. They can. And they should, which is the thing that I find more, because even the feeling of jaded has a whimsical quality about it. It's still a place to learn. You can learn from jaded through your traumas, or you can learn from the idea of jaded through your freedom, right? So I sat there and I was saying to myself, like, wow, I'm sitting here. And then I began to realize that, man, I have been using jaded as a filter in this situation in my life, and expecting to see something turn around. And because I was doing that, I was putting myself right back on that doggone hamster wheel of over and over and over again, to where I did not transmute the conditions, right? I didn't go over the conditions. I basically just kind of like would be there and be like, oh, this fine, not realizing that was a choice of putting myself back on the hamster wheel. and I really I'm so grateful for her because I'm able to move out of it to be a little bit more, a lot more free, a lot more calm, a lot more patient now. But also, it put me a lot more spring in my step about doing like this boring, busy work that needs that we all have to do but hate to do. So it's been a pretty awesome week there.
And it definitely sounds like you learned quite a bit from your friend right there. Yeah.
But it started with
stuff, but facet and stuff. Yeah.
It started from like our last thing. It was like that. Once we were able to, once Seraphim connected in this beautiful way, right? It just kind of like set into motion, but it also set into motion for me to sit and be corrected. I was able to be corrected in such a beautiful and loving way that, and it was, but I had to realize how much in her correction, she was literally talking about herself. That's what made it real. That's what made it like so powerful. I was like, man, she's literally she's talking about herself. Here I am thinking she's talking about me, but she's talking about herself. It was.
And
wild.
did you present that to her at the time, or were you just more concentrating on listening to what she had to say because you felt like it was necessary for her to say it in the moment?
Well, at some point, I went through the went through that combative motion for just not long, because I recognized it easily, right? Because Kyrie, like. I don't like to be I don't like to be combative. However, I don't mind.
Yeah, you've shown in the past that you've shown that in the past that you're very capable of handling conflict very easily.
Oh yeah. So I decided,
which I said last time, most Australians are not used to conflict. Yeah, exactly. We would rather have our tail between our legs consistently and go, yes, sir, 3 bags full, sir. Fuck me up the arse, sir, till the cows come home, sir, sort of thing. And no, after seeing how powerful your confrontation was, but with such grace at the same time, in observation, that way back when in my first year with you in Melbourne, and I'm sure you've confronted in the exact same way others in the past and future after you come back to America in the same way when you needed to. But when I was observing you that day, I was the word beautiful comes to mind.
No,
because it's just so rare. Like I continue to say in Australia, to see grateful conflict is what clarified as so much conflict in Australia is deemed hurtful or like a 6-year-old having a tantrum.
Yeah,
because we're not used to being grateful in conflict. We're used to, you did this to me, this is victimhood, and now I'm going to have a tantrum, and then now there's going to be conflict, and then there might be a slapping match, or there might be a punching match afterwards.
Yes,
and then of course then the police have to get involved because of course they don't understand how to create conflict, but also at the same time resolutionment. Or resolve it amicably.
Yes. Because
and I see that a lot. And I see that a lot in the States, that you guys and girls know how to create conflict, but then most of the time how to resolve it quite well.
True.
Not all. No, I'll say many. Not everyone. Let's refrain from the word everyone. Yeah.
Because I mean, we look at our government and see, but that's not necessarily true. However, I think that that the uniqueness of this melting pot here in America the uniqueness of how we move in America, the uniqueness how of what this freedom that we're losing, right? These freedoms that we're losing. The uniqueness of it is that it creates a space for healthy, intense fellowship. What's good, Jay?
And that's
Money?
that's a word not used very often even these days. Fellowship, yeah.
Yeah, it's intense fellowship, man. That we're able to, like, hey, this needs to be said. This has to be said. I'm going to be the one to say it, right? But I put myself in that position, right, man, to basically, while she confronted me, and I sat there and I said, no, Kyrie, because you don't want to. I love my friend. Let's not cause division in here. So I sat, listened, and I realized, okay, Kyrie, she's talking about self. It is right now, Kyrie, you're the hit dog that's hollering.
But you said you listened instead of hollering, though.
Well,
which is something you probably had to hold back yourself from doing at the same time, by the sounds of it. Yeah.
Yes, you ever heard the phrase "a hit dog will holler"? So when she was talking about self, it was hitting me, and then I was thinking about all the things that I had done in that process to mitigate it and to manage it. And I'm saying to myself, but then I was like, you know what, Kyrie, you had I had given up on the situation. I had given up completely, and I'd put myself in like this state of bliss, and just to ride
water off a duck's back. Yeah.
Just to ride out the time, but I did not realize that was me moving into that in that movement of jaded. It was putting me right back on the hamster wheel because what I did not do was I did not transmute the energy. I had got complacent. So let's say, I didn't transmute the energy there. So when I go to the next place, like I go here with you, if I didn't resolve and transmute that energy, what happens is I'll sit with you, and then I will not have learned that lesson enough to recognize anything in this new space. These are just conditions. Everything's around walls. These are conditions, and these conditions are not supposed to like make us feel good. We're supposed to make ourselves feel good despite these conditions. So when you go to the next place in life, when you go to the next point, that you're already feeling good, that you're already in that space of bliss, that is proactive. So there seems to be this state of bliss that is proactive and then inactive. There seems to be. Now that's all being worked out, as we go through this thing called life. But man, it's been kind of a very, very beautifully and beautiful is that same word. Again, it's kind of one of those things where it's just how to stay on this freedom train, right? To stay on this ability to manifest the environment that we want to see around us. How to change these four walls, right, into the four walls that I want to see on a regular basis.
To just interrupt for a moment, Carrie, you just referenced the freedom train, and what I heard just then was old Paul Robeson coming forward. I can't remember, did he have a song way back when that you remember called Freedom Train or something?
No,
I'm hearing something along the lines of "I see the freedom train in front of me," sort of thing. And with his frequencies, of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I can. We can definitely say it because I don't know if that is a something that's particularly true, right? But I can definitely see it, especially given who Paul Robeson
he definitely would have. He definitely would have stated something like that with his when he was even probably at the Sydney Opera House giving that speech to the workermen, and elsewhere when he did his advocacy when he went around the states as well. So I'm sure he would have even stated that
100%,
same line
100%.
you just brought forward of, I'm seeing a freedom train in front of me and I see all my brothers and sisters on that train and we're all chugging along, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just hear that in frequencies when he steps forward. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think a lot of times what we don't notice is that when the see, because he was showing up and having to show up especially during that time, and he did not even have the opportunities that I have, right? As far as stand in front of Linda. Oh, my bad, not saying names. Stand in front of
all good. Yeah.
And really be able to advocate for himself, right? That there, just the advocacy of self could have been his life here in America.
It almost was. Yeah, it almost was at some points. Yeah,
at some points, yes. So when I'm so glad you brought that, because then I get to see how far we've come, but still how far to go. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
When it comes to this, but man, let me tell you, I have just been so blessed by what transpired last week.
Exactly.
Wow. It's been enriching. Somebody asked what's the topic, and I said we're just talking about how we're just
jiving. We're just jiving. And old Mr. Robeson just came forward.
Yeah, we were just talking, like Sam and I are old friends from when I lived in Australia. Say that again. And we're just kind of like having conversations of catching up, and we've just decided to go live while we catch up, because we're both artists. We're both opera singers, but also singers. And we worked together when I lived in Australia, and we're pushing through, but we're also of spiritual brothers. This is right here. We speak the same spiritual language. We speak the same language of the cosmos and manifestation. We were able to connect on that level so much. And it's wild. And last week, hopefully you guys will be able to see it if you go back to the old episodes of the first couple episodes, and they're really good as well. We've talked about some things.
Highly recommend it. Yeah,
definitely. Last week, we talked about how I was able to show him how to confront an obstacle and how to move forward gracefully. And I was telling him about how how I had to do that again, and to be able to see it with clearer focus, but also last week we did
a hypnotherapy session going into spirit. Yeah.
We did a hypnosis session, and we went and talked to one of my spirit guides, and got a little connection and stuff like that. And so we just talk about all kinds of things, and we put ourselves kind of at this point putting ourselves out there, because we both have gotten over the shame of feeling the shame of who we are as people, and how we maneuver ourselves as spiritual beings, right? Because of the shame of being thought of as crazy for the things that we see here, see, hear, taste, feel. There was a lot of shame, that was brought up, that we had to go through in order to get to a place of being comfortable with it, but also in order to be these people who we are, and to see the fruit of what we do manifest, and see the fruit of what we do, just kind of like we see it, and then here we are coming together, and then we're seeing it happen even more when we're together like this. So we just decided to to have these conversations live. Man, anything you want to add?
Definitely.
Anything you want to add?
Well, yeah. When you were saying that about your spirit guide, um, we are able to bring the name forward. I think so, because we brought the name forward.
Oh,
yeah, last time. Yeah. Seraphim, and it's also a multi-dimensional version of yourself as well, in the divine feminine, as you know, as well. So just as much as spirit guide as a multi-dimensional version of self of divine feminine, where you're the divine masculine to their polar opposite of the yin yang. Yeah.
That Gemini energy.
Yeah, exactly. The twins. Twin flame as well. Yeah.
And how but you know what, I'm sorry to interrupt, but how this understanding of this divine feminine and divine masculine coming together, right? How in so many ways it has made me way more masculine. Just in feeling, you know, a self way, you know, it's like this way more sure and way more precise. And way more able to just kind of go to it, you know, kind of thing. And you know, that's with understanding this divine feminine and loving it.
And also, I'm hearing also, as I know through doing multiple hypnotherapy sessions already with myself and through others, your subconscious already is giving you that synchronicity and that forward momentum to go, here's your path, now follow it, sort of thing.
Follow it. Yes. And like this, and really, this is what's really wild, right? The things that there are many things that I still don't know about this path, right? But this path up until where I don't know is so clear. It's so clear. It's like it's never been clearer before, right? It's where I have it's where I have normally put those things that I like it's now down to the busy work.
Exactly.
Right? I don't have to put myself in my head anymore. I don't have to think about, I don't have to think about clarity for clarity's sake, because then you're on that hamster wheel in clarity. You know, it's an addiction. That's an addiction. Spirit. You know, you're not stuck. So I just know I need to do this, and this. Boop. It's clear.
And that's exactly what people need. Getting rid of the muck, getting rid of the dirt, and seeing the path for what it is with golden light of clarity.
Yeah.
And I think, as you were stating last week, you've overcome, as I know as well I have, a lot of limiting beliefs.
Yeah, those beliefs.
To find a new version of yourself already. Yeah.
And it's when you think you've overcome that God says, nah, no, man.
I got one more. I got a few more.
You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep moving. My name is Kyrie Wilson, and what's your name, brother? You want to say your name?
Me?
Yeah.
Somebody, Samuel Thomas Holland. Yeah.
Yes. I just like the way you say your name, man. It's like that Australian accent becomes like it becomes more British there when you say your name, and it's like, oh, I like that, man. God bless you too, brother. But yeah, God is, and to talk about God and how wonderful He is, right? And how amazing God is to be able to give us these insights and to be able to check us, literally check us in the moment. Because one of those things that I realized with my friend is that it was not her correcting me. It was God saying, look, man, look here. Look, you have to do something different here. If you want to be the you say you want to be, you have to do something different. You got to open up your mouth different. You got to talk different. You have to walk different. That does not mean that you can't, that I'm not going to be able to, that we can't carry ourselves how we carry. it means that you have to
I love that. Sorry, we can't carry ourselves like we are.
Yeah. I think oftentimes we have we have such these like the extended masters that we speak about often. I think oftentimes we have such these views of these people that we don't see them as real people. We don't see Jesus as real people in the sense of this. We don't know what they looked like that walked through and had to talk through and had to talk through and had to work through. We just see them as these people of these people who kind of like exist above it all. But shit, they live on this planet.
And at the same time, man, at the same time, as you keep bringing forward, there's that dogma. There's that dogma around Christ. There's that dogma around Magdalene.
Yes.
She was a whore. He was a savior. We should look at him as the be-all and end-all. Shit, no. He's a man, just like you and me. And she was a woman, just like your friend who was talking to you through God's voice, as you said. And just saying, listen up, Curry. I'm gonna say it plain and simple. If you don't fucking like it, don't react. So I'm just telling you my side of the story and mirroring me at the same time as mirroring you. And if you don't like it, observe it, but don't react.
Showing me at every step of the way, showing me who the fuck I am, right? Like this is you. You might not like this. This might have hurt your feelings to hear it.
Exactly.
This is you.
You've been being a bitch.
But not even that. What you gonna do about it?
Exactly. You can keep currying, but when are you gonna stand up straighter and to continue currying? Yeah.
Because here I am. I'm in bliss. I'm walking around here, feeling good, man. Feeling in my blissful state. I'm walking around here feeling good, not realizing that I'm not functioning. Not realizing that I am not functioning.
I'll be praying for you. Thank you.
I love prayers. Not realizing that I'm not functioning. Not realizing that I'm not functioning on the level that I know I need to function. Not realizing that the behaviors were causing me to miss connections. Not realizing that I was not feeding myself. I'm not realizing it, and here I am, thinking that because I'm feeling blissful, that I'm feeling the nirvana, that I'm feeling the moksha, because I'm feeling those things, right? Not realizing that I'm lost in those moments. Not realizing
that profound as fuck. Yeah,
man. It's like being stuck in the good in feeling land.
Because we brought up Christ, I'm now being shown at the moment, as you were speaking, Curry, the time when he threw over the tables in the marketplace. I want to know what your perspective on that is, because I'm sort of struggling to figure out why I'm seeing that when you were just talking about what you were saying then.
It's because I described that scene very much lately over the past maybe month.
Oh, well, there you go, serendipity.
It has been here. I think we have a skewed vision of what Jesus looked like there, because I'm Jesus' number one fan. So he has I think he's Goku on steroids. He's the superhero. I think that we don't realize, we think about that time and that era, right? We think about the visuals of what we got from Jesus from back in from the movies, right? This person.
Give me a second, man. Sorry, just need to chat with Mum quickly. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just on that. Yeah.
So grateful. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Thank you. So grateful.
I just got to front end a little bit. Yeah, it's the first part of the bathroom. I paint. Anyway, I gotta get back. All right, man, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So no worries at all. No worries at all. So what we have to we see it through the lens of Jesus as this person walking like this in a white robe and these sandals with this long hair, right? And we see this meek, mild person talking, and who says these things, and we think that you know, but we don't realize that Jesus, like I said, Jesus was a man like us, and he had to follow the same laws and rules of nature that we had to follow in order to do all of the things that he does, which means that he had to go learn some shit.
Oh yeah, big time.
He had to go learn some shit. He like I said, I think we talked in the conversation in the past that he had to learn how to walk on water from the people around this world who was transmuting energy, who was doing these things. Like they have the women in Africa right now who fly on broomsticks. He had to go and learn how to do these things. But in Jesus's travels, which spanned so far. His travels,
and they're not even talked about in the Bible. That's the thing, and you wonder why. You wonder why they're not talked about because, of course, that then would go into heresy, witchcraft, energy healing, energy transmutation, as you were saying as well, and that would all just be seen as heresy in the book of the Bible. Yeah,
exactly. Like God for some reason, he looked up to God and said, Jesus, let me turn this water to wine. Boom. No, he had to go and learn how to transmute that energy. He had to go learn how to do it from somewhere. So I always say that the Bible account of Jesus is the Cliff Notes version. And then there's this saying that people say, right? That we have, and it says that how do you follow Jesus? You'll follow the people. So you go follow the people, the places that he went to. We know he went to the Far East. Who there was putting ears back on? Who there was suturing ears by healing hands? Like when Peter's ears was chopped off. Who was transmitting energy to be able to walk across the sand and across the water? Where did he go to these people? So you find out about Jesus by finding out those people who were doing the things that he was doing, right? So think about when he went into the temple, right? I think we think about the temple itself as a small thing, when the temple represented the government at the time. The temple was the actual government. Think about Jesus going into the temple to whoop ass in the temple, as in the same respect as somebody saying, "Hey, we won't have this," because what was going on was collusion amongst the principalities, amongst the countries. Gambling is not just playing dice in a doggone thing, right? They were gambling in the temple, meaning they were gambling with their destinies. They were gambling with their souls. They were in there gambling, not just playing fun and games. We thinking, here we are thinking Vegas, Las Vegas. But no, they were making contracts in the church. There was far corruption in the church. And what happened was it was multidimensional players. Think about Trump and Putin having lunch. Think about the relationship that was talked about between Trump and Putin. That's what he was seeing in the government. In the government, right? So he walked up there, right? And he tore it all up. He tore it up. He really went out there and tore it up. He toppled the government.
So basically, almost what's happening in Congress right now is almost what happened with the toppling of the tables here.
Yes. So we think of this, we think of it because it's happened that then, and they don't have all the technology and all those things they supposedly didn't have, right? That we have now. But the truth is, this was on a just as wide scale as the corruption with these governments. At the moment, that was the gambling. That was what was happening. And if we don't see it as such big thing, then we will reduce it to dice playing in the church halls. I believe there were prostitution rings. That's gambling. There were child trafficking rings. That's gambling. There's affairs happening. That's gambling, and we don't see it and visualize it at that. We don't even know what, I always say this. What if Jesus, the words that were for Christ, right? In the Bible, what if those were the only words he had ever spoken in life? What if when Jesus says this, and in the Bible they put it in a nice bold red? What if those were the only words spoken by Jesus, right? Well, then that means he practiced the art of silence. Where did he learn that from? Buddhism.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you go talk to some Buddhists, and they will tell you that Jesus is a Buddhist.
Yeah.
The Jesus they knew.
Well, he spoke of reincarnation, didn't he?
A Buddhist.
Yeah.
So we have to get a clearer picture of Jesus that is so far beyond the dogma. So far beyond the doctrine. In order to get a great picture of who this man is, who this person is, and who this person can be for me. So he went up there and he tore it up, right? He may not have even had to say a word. He may or may not have been by himself. We know that he toppled the government. But what we can find out is by going through history, right around the time, what governments were toppling during the same time. Also, the Chinese government was toppling at the same time. The Middle Eastern government was toppling at the same time. North African government was toppling at the same time. You see what I'm saying? Like all of those things were happening around the same time. So we can infer, and only infer, that Jesus going in and tearing up the temple toppled down those regimes as well. We can only infer, but I believe so. I look at it from such a bigger picture now. I can't look at it small. I can't look at it as, man, in order for Jesus to travel by boat, do you know how ruthless that Jesus had to be? Do you know how cutthroat he had to be in order to gamble he knew gambling because he saw it on his travels. To gamble himself to be able to go from one side of the town to the next, of the country to the world to next. He had to gamble. That's what happens when you were traveling in those paths, right? You had to gamble to get on boats. Go read every story from that time. How they didn't charter boats like we did.
Even in video games such as The Witcher 3, that was a prime example of you had to either pay your way or there was multiple ways of you getting to this specific island called Skellige in the game, where you had to play a card game, and that basically gambling because you had to put forward a monetary amount first before you play, and it's either win or lose, and fail or success sort of thing. And of course, the gambling, that's a prime example of what it was like back in the day, and probably still what it's like, because we're so sort of desensitized to all that here to a degree in Australia. But I suppose back even in those countries, even today, there'd still be that amount of gambling for refugees now as well. Yeah.
But even for commerce, this whole thing, the government gambles. Our government gambles. These tariffs that America has put on these countries, that's gambling. And we don't see that because we think of Jesus as this little person who walked like this and didn't. But I believe Jesus had to go and be the same kind of people that we are trying to be. people who had to
Oh, for
speak up
sure.
for themselves, people who had to talk, who had to confront at all times. He did not magically get places. Well, sometimes maybe he did, but
well, when he knew how to warp time and space,
he had to learn how to do that first.
Exactly, he had to learn how to do that first.
He had to learn. We dismiss the fact that Jesus had to go learn some shit.
And that's what I was always sort of question when I was a teenager. Why is this Jesus guy so profound in this book, but we know nothing about his 20s or his
he disappeared.
Teenage years? Because that's the thing. He was going and he was learning Reiki, energy transmutation, energy
healing,
energy healing, portal opening and closing. Yeah, honing his psychic abilities, pineal gland.
He was
meditating properly.
All of that work. He was learning these laws of nature. Jesus had. So, if anything, Jesus learned how to master these laws of nature the fastest.
Knowing how to do quantum healing, knowing how to do quantum mechanics jumps. Before it was even quantum leaps and jumps. Yeah, knowing how to what else was it? Probably on the molecular scale, knowing how to repair cells as well.
Even what would be considered the witchcraft practice of necrophilia.
Exactly, the story of Lazarus.
Necromancy.
Yeah. The story of Lazarus. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. We have the same things, the same qualities. He did not have he didn't have an upper hand in any kind of way. Because he was a person. Just like us. He had to go learn that shit. He had to go learn all of it. All of it. Every bit of it. And then what he did was he made it his own. Jesus went out there, man, to the Wudang Mountains in China and learned these people's craft. And was able to master it so he can walk on water. So he can transmute the water and turn water to wine.
And you wonder, is that when you think about it nowadays, coming from China and Japan and Asian countries, was it actually spirit stepping forward as ghosts on water, or was it actually some people who had mastered, like Jesus, that same ability to, like women who were in white dresses who had gone into monasteries or who had studied witchcraft or and mastered the same level that Jesus had, just to walk on water, and then people would go, ghost, but really it was just a vengeful woman saying, get the F off of my land, or get the fuck away from me. You're not welcome here. Yeah.
General, yes.
And that's why the fear energy was around her, because she's basically going, yeah. And they saw a woman in her power, and they went, fuck, we don't want this, and fuck, this scares us. Yeah.
Not only that, they lived in a mystical world. One of the worst things that I think religion has done to us, it has taken us completely out of a mystical world. We live in a to hear about the story of Merlin and the shit that Merlin did was not unusual to hear about then, right? Because we have grown up in a world where mysticism is not a part of life. That shit seems foreign to us. Beowulf going to the underworld to have to pay, for safe passage to the route. Gilgamesh, I mean, that's not uncommon. Those stories, right? These epic hero stories, these ascended people, these stories, though they read like fairy tales to us now, because we do not have personal mysticism as our backbone, because Jesus comes from his mama and his grandmama come from this beautiful matrilineal line, right? Where they were mystics. Ooh, I just spit. All of them.
Let it drop. Let it drop.
They were all
From the top. Let it drop.
I'm sitting here talking, right? My mouth got a little dry, and there's just water right in front of me. I didn't want to get it and pick it up. I was looking and thinking about that water, man, and my mouth said, that was hilarious. Let me drink this water. Let me drink this water. Hold on.
Yeah, both of us.
Okay, so sorry about that. My bad.
That's all right.
But yeah, it was you know, we dismiss a more real view of these things, right? Because let's be real, the way we think about Jesus, right? Those days of Jesus, many people see the doggone Fantastic Four and the Marvel characters, they fit in today's society on the same plane because we do not have mysticism as a way of life.
No, unless you've gone to a university with rigid rules, with rigid doctrine, with rigid ethics, and then can prove, oh, look, I can write this essay of 2,000 words, and I've got this BA or master's or doctorate, PhD in this, that, or the other. I'm worth something. No, fuck off. And apologies for using the F-bomb so many times, but it's true.
It's one of my favorite words.
These days, that's what we've been reduced to. If you don't have a bachelor in anything, then you're considered worthless.
Yeah,
and that's like the dichotomy of the Western society, which was absolutely bonkers back in the day, because it was no, if you were a mystic back in the day, you were heavily revered in the Eastern cultures.
Yeah. Well,
then you were feared because you're like going, what the hell, what the fuck can they do to me? Because it's too mysterious. We don't know. And that's why also there's always that much more fear around mysticism in the West, because it's even more misunderstood. And then when you present that you've got mysticism certificates, they go, oh, that's all we're palaver. And you're like going, well, not really. It's just your resistance stepping forward because you've been indoctrinated from a very young age without you realizing it. Yeah.
We don't realize it, and it's like this. To me, it's such a disservice to us, right? Because you know how like kids, when we were children, like these imaginations, right, will run wild, and just as soon as your son talks about an imaginary friend or talks about something, a creature on the other side, I've seen it over and over again. These kids talk about all kinds of things. We don't realize how much of that is them growing their mysticism, their personal spirituality, right? It's how they understand the things that are around them, right? And these fixed doctrines don't speak to us all. They just don't. These fixed dogmas don't. How is something going to be living and breathing if it's fixed in such a way? It can't be, right? And what I love about Jesus the most is how he speaks to me. How universal it is in his speech. Because Jesus speaks to me just like I told him. He talks to me just like me. And we won't be able to have a real discussion about anything when it comes to Jesus and the Bible or anything if we have a narrow-minded view of who Jesus is. If we don't see him as toppling the government versus just going into a temple, tearing shit up because people was playing dice and cards in a doggone church. That is such a ridiculous thing to me. They talk about the temple. They say he went to the temple. you have to realize that the church, that the temple and the government, that we have lived where the government was the temple.
And was the church at the same time. The government was the church at the same time. So that's what even gets me even more when biblical scholars and the church even represent this story.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they're trying to still present a dogma of, oh, yes, the church was the government back then, but we're different. No, you're not.
Mm-mm.
Church and government are still the same thing half the time.
I think it was worse.
If you're not paying attention, yeah.
I think it was worse because people, there's this thing that happens where people say God allowed them to allow murder, in the land. No, God allowed us, freedom of choice, right? So these laws and rules of the land, these governances of the land were honored by God because they were made by the people, by the church, by the governing body, right? So God didn't say, oh, go out there and and go and go and take all of the stuff from these lands and all this stuff. God said, I give you authority to govern yourselves, and I will honor it. I will honor the rules and the authorities that you have put in place. I will honor it. So he's given us this. This is what this free will is. And we dismiss all of these things because we have such a small view of what was going on there. This shit was multi-dimensionally, multi-scalar. It was all over the place. It was just as big as Hiroshima.
That's a big statement to make, dude. Shit. But it's true. It's true.
Why wouldn't it be? Right? Why wouldn't it be? If we understand that the temple and the church, the temple and the government was the same, if we understand the tribes of Israel and we understand the order of things happening, because we can go and read all that shit, but we read all that shit and still have a narrow viewpoint about this whole thing, then we have to realize how powerful this thing is. It's not just a little drop in the hat. It's not just this. No. It is global. It even reaches the heavens because angels even came down, right? Isn't that what the Bible said? The angels comes down. We're reading this thing, right? And we're not reading this thing and reading in the lane of the extraterrestrials. What's his name went up in a chariot of fire, not realizing there were rockets.
Elijah, yeah.
Right? I thank you for remembering that name. My mind couldn't remember it. Elijah went up in a chariot of fire. Yes, they had chariots. That was the layman's terms. Those were the words. But that's a spacecraft. It's a spacecraft.
No shit, Sherlock. Yeah.
Angels came down to warn the people of calamities. You mean to tell me aliens came down to Earth and gave warnings? Right? We have gotten so used to this magic versus miracle debate here in America.
And what I'm being reminded of when you say that, Carrie, is the Sodom and Gomorrah tale of the people raping and pillaging.
Boom.
And they were wanting to rape the angels at the same time. And what's his face, who came out and protected them, basically said, "No, please rape my daughters instead. These beings are above you." Yeah. These
are angels. They don't need protection in that way. These are angels. What we have deemed angels. These extraterrestrials is what we have deemed to be angels, and we have to put a stamp on it. We have to understand that, because if we do not, then everything will be so otherworldly and untouchable. When we have 3-Eye Atlas out here in the cosmos right now, an unidentified object in the doggone cosmos. And you mean to tell me that doesn't make you read the Bible differently? This thing is turning blue, which means it is hotter than the sun. This thing is not only turning blue, man. This thing is accelerating on its own. It has a propulsion system. It is the size, literally, of Africa almost.
That's a huge spacecraft, then. Sorry. Yeah.
Right. And there are accompanying crafts around it. Let me tell you, we have to, because we're going to be duped. And we're going to be duped like tremendously if we do not place value on the foolishness, the things that we call supernatural foolishness now. This is why it's so important for us who live this kind of life, who experience this. Because what I do know, especially from growing up as a black man, you know, a black person, you know, that I know so many spiritual people who are black people, so many, who do not allow themselves the freedom to move in their unique gifts because it's deemed witchcraft versus miracles and magic. They don't learn how to hone them. They don't see it as God. They don't see it as God. I see it and I know it's God. I know it. And I'm not going to argue with nobody's doctrine, with nobody's dogma about it. I refuse to do so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to live my life, because now is the time when we have 3-eye atlas coming out here, right? It just makes us forget of what is possible out here, because this is the same kind of language that has been talked about in the Bible. It's the exact language. And I'm just not going to dismiss it. So I'm going. This is why this was such a charge for me, to open up my world.
Exactly. And I'm hearing Seraphim will help you even more so with that. Yeah.
Always have. I can't.
And I that's why I say this with my whole heart, Curry. That's why I really want to step forward with my unique gift of what I gave to you with Seraphim, and help people see and move past their resistance with that personal approach. Because for so long, mediumship has been seen as witchcraft, bringing forward demons instead of bringing forward spirit guides or your past loved ones, and with messages of long distance connection. Yet again, instead of moving forward from grief, loss, and shame, and bringing forward new connection.
Yes,
and saying, look, we can reconnect this way, and you can build trust again in me. And I can guide you on your path, and that will help you find your path with more clarity as well.
100%.
Even though, and then treat it as I'm still with you, and there'll be no more tears, and if there is, there'll be cleansing tears instead of you just
tears of joy.
Tears of joy and reconnection, and just going. I'm connecting with you on another level, and you're healing me in that way at the same time, because every single validation I've seen is that entirely from what I've given to people in their past life ones.
What's beautiful about I'm sorry, my bad.
And that's all right. And well, you've seen it too now with your spirit guide coming forward, and it just shocks me still a little bit how
it's a wonder.
Resistant some people can be, and calling it a hobby, calling it this, that, and the other. And that sort of smacks me a bit, because I'm in service to people when I do this, and then when people turn around and go, "Oh, isn't that just a hobby?" I'm like going,
"You can't worry about that."
Not really.
You can't worry about that. I know you know that, but you can't worry about that, because what happens is there's a time, right? And this is why I think this is important what we are doing, because we're bringing two different we're bringing the same and different messages at the same time. We're bringing it. We are bringing it, especially how we're talking about this today. We are making sure that people understand how we speak the same language, but different. People are literally hearing it. And how it's the same message.
Exactly.
Because what's happening is the time is here for people to know that there are people like us that are out here that exist on this wavelength, and people are going to be needing this. They're going to need direction. They're going to need clarity. They're going to need understanding. But I can't care about that either. The only thing I can do is be obedient here at this point. Right? Because if I start to think about the sacrifices, which is why obedience is better than sacrifice. When I start to think about these sacrifices that I've put out into the universe, but the sacrificing of my energy, my time to talk, and people don't get, then I am not being obedient because I'm thinking about something that I can get from it versus understanding that this is just my being. This is it. This is he. This is I.
And that's something I've got to learn, man, because like I said, we're so inducted in Australia because we've come from a very prison-based history.
Yeah.
That it's the yes sir, no sir, free bags, full sir, where America has come from a basically a fuck you approach. With the British war, basically going, I disagree with you, and I'm going to whack you over the head and basically tell you to fuck off and get off my land. But at the same time, I'll still respect you when it's all done and through, sort of thing.
Yeah, right. But then in that way, you never address what's there. You never transmute energy. You never transform the energy, right? And I'm so big on transforming the energy, which is why I'm so grateful for my friend here. My friend really, really, really opened up that it's really just opened up this world of understanding that. And this is what I want to say. That like Seraphim coming in such a strong way, right? Because if you could talk to my roommate, I talked to him about Seraphim. I have talked to him about Seraphim for the past 4 months of knowing who it is, knowing the name, but not participating actively. I was being a passive participant in who this was, looking at it in awe, but not understanding and seeing it as myself, and not loving it like myself, because it is self, right? I had taken the same approach that many people had taken to not seeing the big picture. I saw it as something that's over there. If I don't want to be bothered with it, it's over there. I can play with it a little bit. Lukewarm.
And I think that's what a lot of people, many people think of it as, or even just as, that's something that I should be frightened of at the same time as well, because I've been taught in the past to be frightened of it. So that's why I want to keep it at a distance.
They keep it a hobby. Keep it away. Keep it out that way, man. When I tell you, when I want to, I connect. I just
get that time up there.
Man, let me tell you, man, because the energy boost, it's orgasmic. The bliss boost, baby, talk about bliss. That bliss boost.
I feel like I'm coming. Man,
it is powerful. It's wild. Yeah. It is powerful. And I don't want to play around, with that knowing and the understanding of it being sacred, of how sacred it is, but and how secure it is, and how much of God it is. You can't tell me this is not God. I mean, I get it. It's scary. I get it, but I know God, and I'm okay. And the great thing about God is he's okay if you don't believe. That's the wonderful thing about him. He is okay. He is okay. So I'm okay with them people. I'm okay with them not getting it. And what you will and what I've noticed is your family is are the people who don't get it the most.
Exactly.
Something about your family knowing you before. There seems to be a before knowing and an after knowing. They cannot get over that before person, right? You can scream to you blue in the face that I'm not that same person. I'm not that person. You can show them. You can miracles. You can literally perform miracles. And it's just seeing this magic trick.
At the same time, you're going, well, didn't there's actually a new movie coming out with Nicolas Cage as portraying Joseph when Jesus was growing up, and there's been a huge controversy around it. Yeah, and The Carpenter's Son, I think it's called, or something. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, the storyline that I was, or the synopsis that I was reading of it, is that Jesus is being tempted by the devil or Satan or whoever is coming towards them in their childhood and teenage years. That's not spoken about yet again, as I reiterate from in the Bible. And then, of course, Joseph and Mary getting all uppity and going, oh, your son is such a rude piece of shit. Basically, people are coming forward, as what the synopsis is saying. But then at the same time, Jesus is bringing forward mastery and lessons from mentors that step forward to him, and they're just going, how do you know that? How do you know this? How does your son know this? Yeah.
Yes, he had mastered everything that all of the people that he was around, literally, he had mastered it all by the age of 12. He had to go. There was nowhere way around it. In order for him to fulfill the promise that he was meant to fulfill, he had to go learn some shit. He had to. It was like you know how when you get that that I have to, you gotta, if you ever quit a job where you're like, I just can't go back, I have to do something else. It's like that.
Yeah.
That he had to. If it did not happen, who knows? Who knows? The story just wouldn't be fulfilled here. So I'm very grateful for it. Very grateful for the knowing and the knowledge and the understanding, but also for multidimensional clarity. Multi-universe clarity.
And you got to wonder at the same time when you say that, Curry, what would it have been like if he hadn't gone off and done all the learning? Would he have still been the same Jesus, or would it have just taken him longer to then be crucified? Would he have just been older when he was killed?
That's what I think. I believe that because what I'm noticing even about my own life, and I am not Jesus at all. Please listen, let me pay me, give me. I always say I'm not Jesus. Pay me money, because we have this viewpoint about Jesus not getting paid. But I'm sure Jesus got paid for a lot of stuff. Okay, but
I'm sure because he has supreme charisma, and when you've got supreme charisma, you basically. But at the same time, if he came back to these days and started and did all that training and then started gaining followers, he would be seen as an affront. And if he was in America, probably he would be definitely deemed as a cult.
Crucified again.
I mean, the FBI, any federal agency would be after him for sure, and he'd be on a watch list as a cult leader immediately.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the minute he started getting followers through his charisma. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think, and it's wild to me that people don't see that people don't realize that this person doing magic. What do you mean the magic doesn't exist anymore? The miracles don't exist anymore. Yes, they do. The same thing that existed then exists now. The same natural causes for all that stuff exists today. You just decide not to be your mystical self. But
also, just like I keep saying, Curry, it scares people.
Yeah, I agree.
Even mystics and psychics who I've had readings with in the past, some things have come up within me in readings where some psychics even stop the reading immediately and go, that's too dark even for me.
Mm-hmm.
That even scares me as a psychic.
Mm-hmm.
I need to stop the reading right now. Yeah,
I've experienced that. I've experienced,
and that's interesting when even mystics and psychics get scared by you as a fellow psychic for something that's come up in your energy, for them to go, I need to go away and do shadow work possibly on this, or this scares me for other specific reasons because I'm a female or a male. It could be anything under the sun, anything under the moon,
or what it reveals in the shadows for yourself, right? That mirror
exactly, and that's what I was just trying to iterate. Yeah.
Because what I do when I and I don't necessarily call them readings at all. I call it just giving clarity gifts. And
that's nuts. Yeah.
What happens is, when it happens, I see sometimes I see stuff. I'm like, nope, I ain't playing with that. And guess what I don't do? I don't play with it. I don't play with it. I do not play with it. We have been giving these free wills for a reason, right? But oftentimes it shows you how deep you could actually go. Which is why I don't want to play with. Why I don't want to play with the with the dead. I don't want to do it because I see the kind of person that I would become, and I had to see that mirror, man. I had to recognize the mirror.
Harry, may I ask what you believe in that limiting belief at the moment is the person you would become?
I don't believe. I don't believe that is a limiting belief, right? I believe.
Well, then, just are you able to tell me what you believe, what you think you would become if you went down that path?
Well, I just see what I've said is that I see the type of gambling that it's possible, and I am not interested in even touching it. And it has nothing to do. That is knowing self there, because we've gotten out of the limiting beliefs, because I'm recognizing that it exists, and I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I think that people who choose to do certain work is beautiful. Please do. I think you have the most beautiful spirit in the world to do it. I don't. I've done too much shit, I guess. To the point where I'm not in a place to where I'm interested. It's at some point, usually it's about, am I interested in this or no?
And also, I think when you say that, I think you've possibly already done it in a past life, is what I'm hearing.
Possibly.
You've already had that beautiful experience, as you say, in another past life, and that's why you're in a place of bliss now to say, I don't need to do that again. I've done this in the past. I was a witch doctor in the past, and I helped people overcome their past. Yeah, I helped bring forward past life. Yeah.
I want to do it. I choose not to do it. I recognize. I see the gift. I see the gift being there, but I don't want it, and it has nothing to do with a limiting belief.
It can be a burden. That's for sure. I'll state that. I'll state that big time, because it requires. I'm hearing immediately boundaries of your own, so that you know when to step in and when not to, and that's a huge lesson I had to learn. But at the same time, a beautiful lesson I had to learn at the same time, because at the same time, you could you could be denounced, but at the same time, I want to step into that denouncement. I want to step forward in, to breathe new life into something that has been shut down. I want to breathe new life into a possibility where people have gone, oh no, it's too scary. But when they find out that it's actually a healing process,
yes. But I'm also
they then step into it with more clarity. Yeah.
My bad. I sometimes can't tell when you finish.
That's right.
But I do that, right? I do those very things that you describe, all of it, in different capacity. Somewhere I'm doing it full throttle. Just not in that capacity. Just not there. Just not there.
At the same time, I feel like it comes too naturally to me now.
Yeah,
where the dead step forward, even as you and spirit guides step forward too easily now. Like I could be having a conversation, and all of a sudden, someone will bring forward, "Oh, by the way." It's not usually by the way, but it's somewhat segues. Yeah, segues into something like. I'm having a bad day today because I'm remembering my son who passed away in a car accident. And then all of a sudden, whang, bam, thank you, ma'am. There's her son. There's her son in my third eye. And he's stepping forward in like a shadow, first as a shadow and then with clarity. And then I'm like going, oh, ma'am, I wish you fucking didn't say that because now I'm seeing him. And now he's giving me messages. And now I've got to ask you the question, are you, by the way, I'm sorry for your loss, but at the same time, I'm a medium. Is it okay if I bring him forward because he's stepping forward? And if not, I understand completely, but he is stepping forward for me. And I just want to say that. And if you're not into that, I completely understand boundaries. And most of the time they actually go, oh, I'm interested. And I've only had one or two that say, thank you, but no. I don't want to go there. And then I completely understand. Back off. Back off, and then your screen goes down.
My bad.
That's all right.
I pressed the button. I did it twice. I ain't gonna do it no more. I'm just gonna let it go from now.
Anyway, we better almost call it a day because it's already 4:47 here where I am. I need to get ready.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this was a pretty dope conversation, man. I can't wait to delve back into more about these things.
Well, yeah, definitely next time. I think we need to, because there's to leave the conversation to segue into next times. One is I've got so many people who sort of like I've had people from the Columbine massacre step forward to me in spirit, and I'm always being told divine timing will bring the family members of them to me.
Yes.
But then at the same time, I'm going, what about the free will? What about the boundaries of them? And then Spirit just said you'll have to navigate that when they arrive.
Yeah.
You have to negotiate that when they arrive. At the same time, they're saying the divine timing will bring them forward and magnetize them forward to you when they're ready.
Yep. They will literally just show up.
Yeah, and one of the main people is the first victim of the Columbine massacre, and her brother. I hear her brother in divine timing will step forward to me.
I believe now. I'm going to say this. I believe this is the boundary, the boundaries that I've learned. Right. I believe that we do not speak until it steps. We don't manifest any part of it until it shows into existence. Instead, divine timing comes. Right. So I wouldn't even. For me, this is why I say this. This is why I don't want to move in it, because I have even learned to not even mention this stuff until. And that is what's hard, and that's something I don't want to do.
That's what I mean. It's hard. It's hard because you know it. You know divine timing will bring it forth. But I love this platform because it's a place where we can speak about this and not be judged for it. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and where I've said that in the past, in other situations, people go, "Oh, that's disgusting. Why would you say something so disgusting like that?" Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And you're
yeah.
going, "All right, well, I'm just speaking my truth." Yeah.
Well. See, this is what I'm going to say here, because sometimes, right, when we speak too soon about particulars, what happens is we create again more timelines for it to come true in the most beautiful way possible, but just as many timelines for it to be skewed in the worst ways.
Exactly, because the multidimensionality of it all. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You're opening the possibility of parallel dimensional interaction. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And I don't want to let the I want the person from this from this thing to come to me at the right timeline with the right energy in the right space, right? And I don't want to do it. So for example, the same thing that you do right here with mediumship, I do it with business. If someone is starting a business,
my mediumship and hypnosis is my business, so that's why I've got to look at it in the same sort of way as you do with business at the same time. I guess sometimes. No,
I'm talking about people with business ideas. I get people with great multi-million-dollar business ideas. They come to me. They show up. And from my understanding of this, and I can speak to what they need to do, what they need to change, why, and they understand it, and it makes them money, which is why I'm tired of being the kind of broke that I am. And it is very, very real and very, very strong and very powerful. These people show up to me, and what I've learned is that if I speak to it, it can easily shut down their path. So I'm doing those things that you're doing. I'm doing them just in a different capacity. And that's what I think is beautiful about these gifts. We get to choose. We get to choose what to work with, how to use this energy. We get to choose it for whatever lane that we want to do it for.
Damn straight, very profound.
Yeah, and I get it's beautiful. That word keeps coming back up. It's a beautiful reality, but it's the sacredness that I understand, right? And if which is why I'm very, very clear about how and where I move and what kind of how I allow these gifts to manifest, because man, I don't want to get tripped up. I don't want to go back and then here I am finding myself backsliding, going into depths of things that I do not want to or don't want to know about, getting energies. So I stay in my lane. Stay in my lane. And and I'm so grateful for that knowing. But I know you need to get out of here. So we will meet. Are we meeting tomorrow still?
Yeah, we can if you like. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start. Let's meet
same time or later. Yeah. Same time, same place, same curry.
So let's do the same time.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Now I got this time locked in my head.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock on Wednesday.
I finally got it locked in my head. So that's that 10 o'clock time. I got it locked in my head. So let's do it tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, cool, man.
Awesome, man. And let's sort of gauge from, I guess. Oh, where do you think to start the conversation tomorrow? Well, from gauging anything, or just free flow again?
Yeah, let's free flow, and then again, and then because what'll happen is, I think while we're doing this free flowing right now, what we'll do, we'll start to gain an understanding of how to build topics, and exactly. I think we're getting that finally now. I think so. This is why I really wanted to do this, just go live, just because thing. I think we're starting to get it. So let's try to think of a couple of topics for tomorrow, and let's talk about those topics.
Well, I've got one already. Um, the, uh,
Mhm.
the Hanging Rock in country Victoria is a
Oh, let's talk.
indigenous burial ground,
So
and
let me go
and
read
and,
about it.
and,
Let me do
and
some research.
yeah, yeah,
So I
and
need
yeah,
to more.
and you might know about this as well. But
I've read
um,
a lot about it
yeah,
already, but I want to
there's
read some more. Go ahead.
yeah, there's there's an indigenous thing of you can't say an indigenous passed away person's name. Is that similar to African American uh, religious folklore in a way? Well, you can't speak of the name of someone who's passed away, or is it only really Aboriginal folklore? Because there's a specific name that they use for someone who's passed away, so that you don't draw their spirit to you. Yeah. Hello, dude. Oh, you're going off. Hang on.